Okay, boys and girls, this is lesson 2, multiplication as repeated addition. I just realized I didn't erase some of the stuff from the in-person lesson today, so there we go. Okay, so we are going to be doing pages 199 together and page 200. We're going to do the independent practice tomorrow because today we ran out of time to do it. So we're just going to do this part today, and then I will assign the independent practice tomorrow to those of you that aren't at school tomorrow. Okay, so there are many ways to find the total when there are groups of equal objects. So let's look at our word problem. I'm going to get out my highlighter, and let's see, I used, oops, that's not highlighters. Use pink this one. I'll use green now. Okay, so remember that we don't read the numbers and we don't read the question in 3rd grade when we're first doing word problems. So I'm going to highlight all my words, skip over the numbers, and I'm going to leave the question alone for now. So now I'm just going to read the green, the parts I highlighted in green, and say the word sum for the numbers. Gilberto made some small pizzas for his party. Each pizza had some slices of tomato. Okay, so let's talk about names in word problems. If you can't read the name, it does not change the answer. So if you have to write out the name of the person, you can just copy it, but it doesn't matter if you can't read the name. So I knew that was Gilberto, but let's pretend I didn't know. I could call him G. I could call him George. It doesn't matter. I could give him my name. Well, then he'd have a girl name. But anyway, whatever. So the name doesn't matter. Don't get hung up on the name. Focus on what you're supposed to do in the word problem. Okay, so in our imaginations, we're going to give Gilberto some small pizzas, and we're going to put slices of tomatoes on those pizzas. We don't know how many yet, so get that in your imagination. Okay, now let's look at the word problem. So Gilberto made 4 small pizzas for his party. Each pizza had 5 slices of tomato. So now in your imagination, put 4 small pizzas out there for Gilberto and put 5 slices of tomato on each piece. Now let's read the question. Gilberto made 4 small pizzas for his party. Each pizza had 5 slices of tomato. How many slices of tomato did Gilberto use to make 4 small pizzas? So what we need to know is how many slices of tomato altogether. So let's find how many slices of tomato there are in 4 groups of 5. So I'm going to scroll up here. First, we're going to draw a picture. So I'm going to use purple. Okay, so we're going to draw a picture. There are blank groups. Draw 4 pizzas. There are 4 groups. The pizzas are the groups. I thought that was purple. It's navy blue. Okay, whatever. So I'm going to draw 4 pizzas in my drawing space. Please make sure you do your drawing. It's really important to help you understand how this works. There are blank in each group. Draw 5 slices of tomato on each pizza. There are 5 slices of tomato. I'm just going to use dots. Those are my tomato slices. Okay. Then we're going to count. There are blank slices of tomato, so let's count them. 1, I'm going to go over it with red so you can see as I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I know that there are 20 slices of tomato. Okay, so let's use repeated addition. We're going to write an addition sentence to show the equal groups. Now let me show you a hack for doing repeated addition. Until you really get it and you're like, oh, I can do this, here's a little hack for you. Each pizza has 5 slices of tomato, so I'm going to write a 5 on each one. Okay, now I can see 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So then I can write it down here. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Well, I already counted them up. I can also show it mathematically. 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. So 4 groups of 5 is 20. Gilberto used 20 slices of tomato. Okay, Now we're going to go to the next page, to page 200. So you'll have to switch over in Class Dojo and then continue this video. When you find the total of equal groups of objects, you multiply. The symbol, the X times, means to multiply. The numbers multiplied are called factors. The result is the product. We're going to talk about that in a second. Okay, so this word problem is a little trickier because one of my facts is in my question. So it makes it super awkward, but you still can do it. So if you don't mind feeling a little awkward for a second, well, let's figure this out together. So I'm going to highlight words, skip over the number. Now, how many sides? That's the beginning of a question. But I have the number 5 here and I have separated honeycomb cells. Okay, so I'm just going to read the words and use the word some. So a honeycomb cell has some sides. Okay, then I have some separated honeycomb cells. So now I'm going to imagine that in my head. Okay, these honeycomb cells, you can see what honeycombs look like over here on the right if you're having trouble imagining it. Okay, so you have these cells that have sides and there are some number of these cells. Okay, so now let's read it with the numbers. A honeycomb cell has 6 sides. Then I have 5 separated honeycomb cells. So 6 sides, I have 5 of these cells. So imagine that in your brain. These cells are 6-sided and there's 5 of them. Okay, now let's go and read our whole word problem. A honeycomb cell has 6 sides. How many sides do 5 separated honeycomb cells have? So I know I need to tell the total number of sides in these 5 honeycomb cells. So we're going to find 5 groups of 6. So we're going to write an addition sentence. So we're going to use the 5 6-sided pattern blocks and count the number of sides in all. So they already told us that each one has 6 sides. And if I count it, I can trace around it. So you can use your pencil to trace around it to show it has 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one has 6. We're going to use our hack. This is exactly the same. So it also has 6. This one has 6. This one has 6. This one has 6. Okay, so now I'm going to plug that into my repeated addition sentence. 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. Now, I don't readily have this information available to me in my brain, so I'm going to count all of these sides. I switched to red because I have to trace over this blue hexagon here. So, okay, so you can trace all of them and count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count on because we're going all the way for the total number. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So there are 30 sides on those 5 cells. So 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 30. We can also do it mathematically. 6 plus 6 is 12. 6 plus 6 is 12. And then we still have this 6. So we can add them up. You can write them here in this white space on your paper in this space, but I'm going to write them bigger. So I'm going to do it over here on the side. So I have 12. Now in 3rd grade, we stack our addition and subtraction problems. Always, always, always. We don't try and do them horizontally. Okay? So 6 plus 2 is 8 and 2 more is 10. I put the 0 in the 1's place and I have to carry the 10 over to the 10's place. 10 plus 10 plus 10 is 30. So there you go. My answer is 30. I put a 3 in the 10's place to show 30. Okay, scrolling down. So I have a number of cells. Those are my groups. Okay, and that is my factor. So I have 5 cells. Oops, need my marker. I have 5 cells. Those are my groups. That is a factor. The numbers of sides is 6. There's 6 sides on each cell. That's also a factor. When I multiply my two factors, the answer is a product. So 30 goes right here. Make sure you fill that in there. So 5 groups of 6 is 30. The unknown is 30 sides. Okay, so now we're down to the guided practice. This is the part you do on your own. You will pause the video, then unpause it to see what your answer should have been. If it's not right, fix it. And if it's right, pat yourself on the back, and then we'll do the next part. So we're going to write an addition sentence and a multiplication sentence for this picture. So what I want you to do right now is for each group of bees, I want you to use your hack. I want you to write how many bees on each of the, it's kind of a rectangle of bees. So you're going to count the bees in a rectangle, write the number on it. Do that for each of those. Pause your video. Okay, so I see that my first box has 1, 2, 3 bees. I'm going to write 3. This one has 1, 2, 3 bees. I'm going to write a 3. 1, 2, 3 bees. I'm going to write a 3. 1, 2, 3 bees. I'm going to write a 3. If you did not do that, pause the video, erase whatever you did, and do that. Okay? Now what I want you to do is take those 3s and put them in the repeated number sentence, repeated addition sentence, sorry, and find out how many bees altogether, whether you add up the 3s or you just count the bees. Either way, put your total after the equal sign. Pause the video. Okay, I have 3 bees in the first box, 3 bees in the next box, 3 bees in the next box, 3 bees in the next box. Okay, so I can add them. 3 plus 3 is 6. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. I can also count them. Okay, if I don't want to do all that adding, I can go 1, 2. Oops, I meant to do it in red. Try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12 bees total. Okay, I'm going to get rid of these 6s out of here because it's crowding my math. And I want you to write the number sentence. Make sure you put your groups first, the number of groups first, then the items in each group. Has to be in that order right now in this part of 3rd grade. So pause your video, fill in the multiplication sentence. Okay, I have 4 groups of bees. 1, 2, 3, 4 rectangles. I also have 4 3s on there. So my groups are 4. I have 4 groups of bees. There are 3 bees in each group. It must be 4 times 3. Your adult might tell you that 3 times 4 is also correct. We have not learned commutative property yet. So for now, this is the only way that's correct. So if you didn't put it that way, pause the video, fix it, and then come back. Okay, same answer. It's 12 bees. 4 groups of 3 equals 12, or 4 times 3 equals 12. Okay, that's all you have to do for today. When you finish this in Class Dojo, make sure you hand it in so I can check it. And then tomorrow we'll do the independent practice.